Honolulu firefighters are being offered free health screenings. They include heavy metal testing, a cardiac calcium scan, an ultrasound that scans body parts for abnormalities, and a functional movement screening that checks a firefighter's ability to do their job.
And ultimately, it's important because we want our members to have a long, healthy career and be able to work all the way into retirement and have a healthy retirement, knowing that firefighters are exposed to more toxins and we have a higher incidence of cancer than the general public.
Firefighters will be referred to specialists if the screenings find anything worrisome.